best way to show you this, like this. Pluto's over here. This yod is especially unique because it is happening between pretty much all of the outer planets right now. There's just a whole lot of fuckery. Like, I don't... If you're crashing out, like, there's a reason for that. And the breakthrough always comes after the breakdown. I will die on that hill. Hi, y'all, and welcome or welcome back to the channel. I'm Kelsey, here to teach you astrology and human design in a simple way you can easily understand. I am so excited about this video today because, oh my god, there's so much happening, but you might not see what's happening, or you might not hear about what's happening because it's kind of subtly happening. What we're going to talk about in this video is the fact that there are two yods happening right now. Whether you call them a yod or a yod, it's the same thing. It's also called the finger of God. It's an aspect pattern. I have a whole lesson on aspect patterns in my intermediate astrology course, my level 2 astrology course. I go over every single aspect pattern: cradle, grand cross, grand trine, all of them. But yod is what we're going to talk about in this video because we have two, yes, two happening right now, and they are super rare as well. So if you have one in your chart, super magical. I also have two in my chart, so I know firsthand how challenging but magical they are and can be. This yod is especially unique because it is happening between pretty much all of the outer planets right now. I'm looking at the current chart, so if you see me like looking off camera, that's what I'm looking at, is like the current chart, because this is what I teach you in my Become an Astrologer course, is that the chart speaks to you. Like, if you know what all the symbols mean and you can get out of your head, then it speaks to you. Like, that's what I teach you in my course, is like, okay, we're gonna cover this stuff in a really simple way so that you can understand what it all means and understand the language, but also in that silence your mind to connect to your intuition, because that's all really astrology is helping you to do, is connect to your intuition, right? So, and this is why whenever I do a live stream and people comment like, what does it mean to have this placement, and then I'm like, I don't know, y'all. I can't read it and like tell you. I have to look at the whole chart. And this is why I created my inner circle membership, so that we can share our charts inside and like let them speak to us to help each other, because that's like what it does for me. It literally speaks to me when I look at it. I'm very visual. I can't, like, words, reading words is like a different part of my brain that just isn't connected to the part of my, that is my intuition. So, and I study neuroscience, so I feel like I should know if there's like a correlation between that. Like, I feel like the part of your brain that understands, like, that reads words and understands words is like different than the part of your brain that looks at visuals and understands visuals. Anyways, not to make this like a video about neuroscience. That's how my brain works. I'm also right-brained in human design, so that has a lot to do with it as well. If you are right-brained in human design or know what that means, then you probably understand. So the yods we have going on are between a lot of the outer planets we just had move into new signs. This is a pretty big deal, and really intense. I was talking with my esthetician the other day about how, like, May was nuts. May was crazy. I feel like June so far has been a lot of just resting and downtime to like integrate everything and really like reset my nervous system. My nervous system was stressed and like not okay for most of May. I love that that rhymed. And now that we like things have kind of calmed down slightly, I feel like there's more of an internal processing happening for me personally, that versus like external chaos. You know, May was like external chaos. June has been like a little bit of an internal chaos, and things kind of being a little bit more calm on the external, so that I can have time to process everything and like rest, because, and like I said, reset my nervous system, because I was stressed most of May, and it was not the vibe, not cutesy. These yods are putting pressure on us in really unique ways right now to kind of just sit in stillness so that we have a divine recalibration. It's like we are getting recalibrated. You'll remember when like smart boards first came out, or like what else had this feature where you could like whatever, when touchscreen was new. This is a very like niche thing. If you didn't grow up during that time, or like you weren't like an adult during that time, you might not remember, but when touchscreens started to become popular, they were not good. They needed to like be recalibrated all the time. You had to like go into the settings and like recalibrate and like do these like this thing so that it would like recalibrate your finger to like what it was actually on the screen that you needed to touch. So that's kind of what the time period that we're in right now is like, we're in the settings, we're like resetting things and just making sure that everything is back on track. track, right? And there's downtime and stillness required to have that. And I feel this summer is going to be a lot of positive changes and a lot of expansion that it was maybe needed, that we have maybe been neglecting or like putting off or procrastinating for some time, right? And so we're sitting in the stillness right now so that we can have that expansion when the time is right for it to come. But right now there's these yods, there's conflict, there's challenges. We have Jupiter squaring Saturn and Neptune. We are about to have the sun move over Jupiter and square Saturn and Neptune. We are about to have Mercury square Chiron. Oh god, there's so much going on. And when I did my 2025 update in my Inner Circle membership at the beginning of the year, I do it every January for the year ahead, and I go month to month of the transit and the energy of like what I feel like this month is going to be based on the transits, and then also what I'm just feeling for that month. I use my intuition a lot for this, and my channeling abilities, my mediumship abilities, my psychic abilities. I got 8th house sun and Mercury, okay? It's a part of everything I do. I just don't always talk about it. But so that's what I do in my yearly updates. And for the summer, it was just like chaos, change, unexpected stuff. And then I don't know if I've talked about this in a YouTube video yet, but in the fall, I saw this like mass migration happening, like either a lot of people moving out of the US or to the US, or like, I don't know, but I just felt like there's a lot of shifts, and they're really kind of gonna be ramped up this summer. Like our lives are gonna get shaken up in a major way that needs to happen so that we make the positive changes that our souls, our intuition, the universe is pushing us to do, that are going to be more positive, beneficial for us in the long run, even if they are uncomfortable in the short term. We're getting a little foreshadow of that, like a little teaser of that energy from these yods right now. And I feel like I should call them yods, but yod is just what comes out of my mouth. Like, I don't know, what do you call them? Let me know in the comments. I don't know what to call them. So the first yod we have, I'm gonna try to say that again without laughing, is between Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto in Aquarius. To break down what a yod is, I don't think I can continue to say it without laughing. It is when there are two planets or more sextiling each other, and then they are both 150 degrees apart from the same planet, which is called a quincunx, almost in opposition. So the way that I like conceive this in my head is, okay, if I have, so right now we have Jupiter in Cancer, we have Mars in Virgo. There's one sign in between those signs. That means those planets are sextiling each other, because right now they're at the exact same degrees, or they will be at the exact same degrees within like a couple days or so. They're like 1 degree apart right now as I'm filming this. And then we have almost an opposition between those planets. So the sign that's in between those two signs, yeah, the sign that's in between those two signs, there's got to be a planet that's opposite that sign, right? Okay, so Cancer, Leo, there's a planet in Cancer, there's nothing in Leo right now. Mars is in Virgo, right? So we have a planet on either side of Leo, and then we have something opposite Leo, which is Pluto and Aquarius, and that is making a quincunx with Mars and with Jupiter. And that's a yod. The apex of the yod, of the aspect pattern, is Pluto and Aquarius. It's like a skinny triangle, you know what I mean? So it's like a oh my god, my dirty mind. Oh, you know what? The best way to show you this, I get to use my astro board on my YouTube now. Oh my god, I've never thought. Okay, so basically like this. Pluto's over here. We got Mars in Virgo, we have Jupiter in Cancer, and then we have them making a quincunx to Pluto in Aquarius. That's a yod, right? See, it looks like a little skinny triangle, like a little spaceship. Now we have to break down each of those aspects individually so that we can read them together as a whole. It's kind of like, y'all remember those Mad Lib things, like when you would like put words in for sentences? Like that's all astrology is. It's like once you know what things mean, you just piece it all together to make sentences. And this is what I teach you to do in my Become an Astrologer course. If you're a student in there, you already know this. There's a sextile between Jupiter and Mars. What that means is that there is potential harmony between those two planets that we have to like act on to create the harmony between. With a trine, that's just kind of like magic is there, miracles are there. We might even overlook it because it's just kind of like an easy aspect. Versus a sextile, there's harmony, but it requires action. It requires like something to be done. So with Mars and Virgo, this energy is like, we need to clean house right now. That's what we need to be doing, is what do we need to clean up, what do we need to refine, what do we need to perfect or make better in order to have the harmony of Jupiter expanding us in the area of life. You have Cancer, what do you need to just organize, clean out, kind of make better, right? And then that will bring harmony with Jupiter and Cancer, which is expansion through our home or our family or people that are close to us. Also expansion through our intuition, of our spiritual gifts, things like that, also of our emotions. So we might find that in cleaning out these things, there is an emotional purge that happens because of that as well. Like I said, because both of these planets are quincunxing Pluto and Aquarius, and a quincunx is an uncomfortable aspect. It's kind of like the planets Mars and Jupiter and how they're sextiling each other are like a pressure cooker, and that release of the pressure cooker is happening through Pluto and Aquarius. So what needs an internal transformation, death and rebirth, related to those things that I just talked about, right? And of course, look at where these are going on in your chart, what area of life, the house these are happening for you. For me, it's Virgo's in my 12th house, Cancer's in my 10th house, and Pluto is in my 5th house. So it's showing up for me a lot in like dating and needing to shift my mindset, 12th house, around how I'm viewing like my dating life in general. And then that's also contributing to a lot of expansion happening in my career right now. But it's kind of like we really have to put in the work where Mars is to have more harmony and transformation in those other areas, right? Now, that's not the only yod going on right now. Unfortunately, we also have a yod happening where Mars is the apex. So that's happening between Pluto and Aquarius, Saturn, Neptune, and Aries, and like I said, Mars and Virgo is the apex. And then Saturn and Neptune are also squaring Jupiter and Cancer. So Saturn and Neptune are a part of the yod with Mars and Virgo, but they're also challenging Jupiter and Cancer. So there's just a whole lot of fuckery. Like, I don't... If you're crashing out, like, there's a reason for that. And the breakthrough always comes after the breakdown. I will die on that hill. Like, feel the feelings, crash out, let yourself go there, because, like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? You get a breakthrough, or you release all the emotion that was pent up that you didn't realize you had, and you heal yourself. That sounds pretty great to me. I don't know why we would like be resisting that. Anyways, so I'm gonna add now Saturn and Neptune to the board. I'm changing the planet of Jupiter, so don't let that confuse you. Just know that it's happening. So Saturn and Neptune and Aries are squaring Jupiter and Cancer, and they are also quincunxing with Mars and Virgo, as well as Pluto and Aquarius, and Saturn and Neptune are sextiling Pluto. How fun! So first yod, Pluto is the apex. Second yod, Mars is the apex. So what does that mean? That means that these planets are the focal point of what's happening, but there's also the Saturn, Neptune, square Jupiter and Cancer mess that's also happening that might be distracting us from the lessons or the transformation that's possible when we focus on the Mars and Pluto stuff that's happening. Does that make sense? I feel like the message of the Saturn, Neptune, square Jupiter transit right now is just not to overgive your energy to it. Like, yes, it's there. Yes, it's obviously causing some things to happen in your life that wouldn't maybe be happening otherwise. But I think too, it's like that stuff's just gonna do what it is, because those are really outer planets, right? And Pluto is an outer planet as well. But I think the more that we focus on what's going on in the area of life you have Virgo, and the area of life you have Aquarius, the easier this thing's gonna be to navigate versus if you're overly focused on like where you have Aries and the whole thing that's happening with Saturn, Neptune there, like it might distract you from what's possible, like the inner work and transformation that's possible with where Mars and Pluto currently are in your chart. And with Saturn on Neptune too, it's not like we can like fully ignore, like we're still gonna have to do the things that are pressing for us to do, because Saturn on Neptune is like, we can't ignore what we've been ignoring anymore. We have to like stop gaslighting ourselves, and we have to like stop procrastinating and like do what needs to be done. And I also think that's very Mars and Virgo message, but just don't let how that's showing up for you in the area of life you have Aries like overshadow what the Mars and Virgo transit is calling for you to clean up in that area of your life. Does that make sense? Because we're gonna kind of be catapulted and forced into a release where you have Virgo, if it's not already like dealt with, and Mars moves over the south node. Like that's gonna be a little bit intense in the middle of July if you haven't already been doing diligence in the ways that this is showing up for you. And I also think like the Saturn Neptune thing is going to work itself out. It's kind of what tends to happen with these transits, and especially with squares, is like it's gonna work itself out in divine timing, right? And the sun is coming out as I'm saying that. Like I always take these like literal nature things as lessons or messages when they happen. And I think, let me look ahead here actually. Okay, well the Jupiter square Saturn Neptune thing is going to continue into the middle of July. So we're going to have that for like another month or so. But again, like I said, I don't think that's the most pressing thing right now. I think the most pressing thing right now is like doing what needs to be done in terms of organization or refinement or cleanup where you have Mars now moving through, and how that relates to the transformation, the inner transformation now that Pluto is retrograde retrograde where you have Pluto moving through in your chart that may be different from where it was moving through when it was in Capricorn, right? This is all about like clearing house to have this new beginning that we're all embarking on. That is inevitable when we do the work of like, what do we need to clear out? What do we need to let go in order to have this new beginning in a way that's going to feel more fulfilling, that's going to feel more easeful, and that's going to feel more in alignment with our vision and like our future moving forward. And the new chapter we all know that we're embarking on right now, right? And then this weekend we're going to have the sun join Jupiter in squaring Saturn and Neptune, and also join the first yod that I talked about. It's going to give us more of an illumination to that area of our life and put the focus on, okay, seriously, what needs to be cleaned up so that we can have expansion that is really a focal point and getting an illumination with the sun moving over Jupiter in the area of life you have Cancer. It's almost like if the Saturn Neptune thing, that how you're experiencing it isn't about you, like let go and let God, let the thing happen and focus on what is prompting you to look at you right now or about your life. And again, with Jupiter and Cancer, it's like, how are we nurturing ourselves? How are we caring for ourselves in the ways that we need and maybe have been neglecting because of whatever hardship or whatever challenge we're experiencing with the Saturn Neptune conjunction. It's like, don't let that distract you from taking care of yourself and supporting yourself in the ways that you need to be and feel healed and like the best version of yourself. That's what I feel like these transits are really like prompting us to focus on and prompting us to get just a really clear foundation for and of. And Virgo is very healer energy too. It's very much like, okay, what structures or systems can you put into place that are going to help you to take care of yourself and help you to really heal yourself, especially like your mental health and what's going on in your mindset. And yeah, that's all the kind of crazy messiness that's going on right now. So I hope this helped you to understand like what's going on and more about why things are happening in different areas of your life because of all of this. Like, I look at this stuff every single day and there's a lot going on right now, like, and it's all spread out. It's encompassing a lot of areas of our life, pretty much taking up like all of our charts. So especially if you have anything in these signs that are in early degrees, let me know in the comments. If you already looked at your chart for where this stuff is, let me know in the comments. Would love to have a conversation around it, and I'll be talking more about this in my Inner Circle membership too. If you don't want to share your chart in a public place, understand that fully. That's the intimate space to connect with me over your chart and talk more about this stuff in private. So come join the Inner Circle membership if you feel called. We'd love to have you. And either way, I hope this helped you to understand the fuckery that's occurring at the moment and how you can make the most of it. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!